Hi kids, the reason you're watching this video now is because you chose either option 1 or option 3. That is, either to create a video or a cartoon strip or animated film for your final product. And all of these rules apply to you, and they're very important, so please follow along for this next 3 minutes. I want to talk to you about composition. Composition is a word that artists use to refer to the artistic nature of a final product of an artwork. So how things are arranged to make them look more interesting to the viewer. And there are some tricks I want to teach you about today to get a good composition in your video or cartoon. First things first, you have to know what focal point is. Maybe you already know. I'll remind you. Focal point is simply where the artist wants his or her viewers to look most importantly in an image. Okay? Where do you want your viewers to look first in that shot, in that video, in that cartoon? That's called the focal point. It's the area of focus. In order to make your viewers look first at your focal point, there are some tricks you can use, and I'm going to talk to you right now about one trick. So imagine here you have the same image 2 times, and I'm going to have this horizontally, but it also works if you arrange your image vertically. Now, if you have your image here, let's say of a tree, most people might say they want their focal point to be this tree, for example, and so they'll put it right in the middle, because after all, it's a focal point, why not put it right in the middle? But sometimes, as artists, we want to break those normal behaviors, and we want to do something a bit more interesting. So maybe in this case, you want to throw it off center. The same tree is now going to be off center. Now, in this image, I'm applying what's known as the rule of thirds. And in this image, I'm not. And I'll explain to you why. In the rule of thirds, if you break your picture up into 9 equal boxes, you'll get something like this. You see? 1, 2, 3 across, 1, 2, 3 down, a total of 9 equal spaced, equal sized boxes. Now, here we see that there are 3 across and 3 down, the rule of thirds. That's why it's called the rule of thirds. But also because the focal point, my tree, is on one of those lines. It could be any line at all, but it's not in the middle of one of the squares like this one is. This is the rule of thirds being applied because the focal point is on a line. And in fact, the middle of the focal point is at the intersection of one of the lines, which is even better. So this is the rule of thirds example. For your homework today, after this is over, I want you to go and look at the slideshow I show you full of examples of rule of thirds photography. And for your homework assignment before 8 a.m. tomorrow, I want you to simply get your phone out and take a photograph wherein the focal point, the object of interest, is on a rule of thirds. Now, some of you have on your camera the option of bringing up this grid called the rule of thirds grid. You don't have to use the grid though. You can imagine it in your head. The grid is there to help you, however, if you have the option in the settings on your camera. Good luck, and I look forward to seeing your images by tomorrow.